What actually makes a true Singaporean? Don't think so much. You just got to be a complaint king. See, like me, I complain about every single thing. Why the food turned cold, why the taxi driver come late, why the sun so hot. But here's the thing, I'm quite a private and peaceful guy. So these complaints, right, I like to vent it out on a public domain. But now, if your content is considered inappropriate, you might just be POFMAfied. Hey everyone, my name is Arvind Naidu and I would like to welcome down all of you to our latest online talk show where you can discuss your problems that average Singaporeans face. With me, I have two lovely average Singaporeans who are going to help me discuss these issues that we face daily. Alright, hi Joyce, hi Shawal, maybe you should tell the audience more about yourself and what you do.
I'm just the average Singaporean here to help discuss problems. I like to discuss problems.
Okay. And I'm just the average PMET.
Okay Joyce, actually I asked the wrong question. The important question is, do you all pay taxes?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Then definitely they are qualified for this show. Okay, so usually a subject like this, a talk show like this, we'll start off with something a bit formal, right? So we are going to do something informal. We're going to play a game called Shok Meh. Okay, so it's very simple. I'm just going to ask a question, right. And if you like it, you say Shok. If you do not like it, you say Meh. All right, so the first question is the Avengers movie. Shok.
Shok.
Okay, Shok. Okay, Robert Downey Jr. dying in the Avengers movie.
Meh.
Meh.
Meh. Okay, what about being a minister in Singapore?
Shok.
Shok.
Shok. I thought very stressful. Why is it Shok?
You like Emperor Palpatine.
Okay. What about
Yes, you get to do almost anything you like, and with 16K a month salary, that's better than being a PMET.
Okay, the next one would be freedom of speech.
Shok.
Shok. Okay, last one, the POFMA bill.
Man.
Okay, all right, so that's what we're going to be talking about, the POFMA bill today. Okay, what is the POFMA bill? For those who do not know, it's the Protection from Online Falsehoods and Manipulation Act. Okay, so what does it mean? To summarize it, it means censorship at its peak. So what do you guys think about it? Okay, so for me, let's start with me. Okay, I feel that there is a fine line between information and accusation, in a sense that information helps to empower us. We need that, right? But accusation should not be provoking anyone. So in that sense, so what is appropriate and what is not? Like, how do we gauge it? So what do you think about the act?
Ladies first?
Oh, yourself first.
Okay, sure. So for the whole POFMA Act, there's two things that I'm against. Mostly for it. They may be used for it, but there's two things that I'm against.
Okay.
One is that I think it's clause 61, where some people can be exempted if a minister wants to exempt somebody. Okay. So I think most law don't have that clause in it. Yeah, it'd be a little bit scary if laws have that clause in it.
Okay.
And people can get away with stuff. Yeah, and then the other thing that I don't quite like is that there's already a lot of things that's causing a lot of fear in Singapore. And then to add on one more thing, now you have to fear not only going to Hong Lim Park, not only when you have more than 2 friends with you on the streets, you also have to fear what you type online or even send through WhatsApp. So
but having a certain control, don't you think, in a way it's good, like having, because once again, if we do not have a certain regulation or a control over what we post or anyone, maybe if they are just posting a lot of stuff, maybe me being a private person, I do not want a lot of my stuff up online, somebody else posting private stuff about me. Correct. So how do we, so what do you think about that? Like, how do we address this issue then? Like, what is that fine line? Like, how do we do it? What do you think, Joyce?
I think that if you do not want your personal things to be up online, the first and foremost, you should kind of like QC, qualify, and to see whether you want to have certain items up online, whether is it on your social media, your personal blog and stuff like that. Yeah. But then again, going back to your very first question in regards to the POFMA Act itself, I'm of the opinion that Singapore as an highly educated or rather well-educated society, do we still need the government to tell us what's right and what's wrong?
Okay.
We are intelligent enough to discern from what's right and what's wrong, and it's up to us to make that that judgment, that independent judgment, rather than having someone telling us top down.
We should be given that freedom.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So for those who do not know, see, like this act, right? So how would the audience, what can we educate the audience with? Like, how would they know like what is right? What should they post and what should they not? When would they know that they are crossing the line?
When would they know that
Yeah,
they're crossing the
yeah.
line? I guess it's when as an individual social media user, that's when you start to have the idea that, hey, I want to make fun of so and so, and I'm going to impersonate this person on Facebook or
Satirical.
Instagram, satirical.
Okay.
So if I'm going to have the intention of doing that, then of course, yes, I will get charged in court for that.
But for me, I'm still finding out what the line is, because when they launched this bill, there wasn't a like step by step. Okay, don't do A, and then don't do B, don't do C. If you do any A, B, C, you're gonna get in trouble for that. There isn't clear cut. Most of the things are worded quite vaguely.
So see, that's interesting, right? So then how do we see the people knowing or understanding more about it, right? Like we want to know more about this, and how do we go about it? Then should we have like a survey that a lot of people like asked, like what do you think about this act? Should we go on with this act, or should a decision just be made? No, this is the act that's going to happen, and we just have to follow. What do you think about that?
Okay, personally, I think that public consultation is very important in this day and age.
Okay.
So yes, the government, before enforcing the POFMA bill, should have consulted the public through a public survey of, let's say, 10,000 respondents to gather their opinions on whether this bill should be constitutionalized.
So you're saying that 10,000 people, okay, at least. So how does the bill being passed now, for that matter?
I'm not quite sure. Most things in Singapore, especially when it comes to passing of bills, can be done fairly quickly. Most of the time, it will just pass through.
Already been decided.
Yeah, it's already been decided. Most of the time, people are not being consulted. I don't know when was the last time I have been consulted. Even the last president I did not vote for, so hey.
But then again, do you think that the people watching actually know enough that they have maybe they can voice out saying that they want to be consulted, or no, it's okay, it's just happening as per normal, and I'll just follow how it's being done. So do you think that how do we increase their knowledge to know that they have the right to, or do they have the right? I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, for me, like I said, I'm an average dude in Singapore.
We are all average Singaporeans.
I really don't even understand all of the bill. It's a fairly long paper that you have to read. Some of the things are worded very vaguely, and even I myself cannot give advice on like what you should do. To me now, because there is a part where it says that ministers will decide whether that is falsehood or not.
Okay.
So if it's up to an individual to decide, then it's very hard to put a value onto it to say that, okay, if you cross this mark, that's the problem.
Okay.
How about you? What do you think?
This is indeed a very tough question to answer, but I do still believe that, as a professional, the government could have actually consulted the public by doing, either an online survey, or they could have actually gone down to the grounds to literally do a hard copy survey. The other option is to, of course, do a focus group, but you kind of like need to distill like who are going to be your attendees, and what educational background and qualifications are they coming from. Because if your focus group is going to comprise a team of lawyers, then, you might end up encountering an internal public debate.
Okay. So because from what I know, the POFMA Act online, the netizens have not been very accepting of the POFMA Act, because online you see a lot of response saying that no, this should not be the way, and all that. But you see, that's the thing. So when it comes online, the netizens are very strong about it. But in actual practicality, do you think that they would, if they are given that opportunity, would they actually voice against it? Because you see that online, but would it be practical for them to actually voice against it and say, no, maybe you should have that 10,000 people survey, and then maybe ask our opinions, and we will tell you, and we can take we can move forward from there.
Yeah, it's true. Do you have a hard time looking for guests coming to this show?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So I think people should be consulted. Like Jete over here say, people should be consulted. But I think like you need to kind of find people that wants to be interviewed in the first place, and then the other thing is that whether they are qualified to give any advice or suggestions, things like that. So maybe they can ask the Law Society in Singapore.
Okay.
But I think they have been silenced. I'm not quite sure. Yeah,
Okay.
but they should ask those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Zizek?
Oh, you can actually, gather a poll of respondents from both the online community and offline communities to gather together for, for a public consultation.
Walk around.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, because personally, I feel, being a Singaporean, because it's just my humble opinion, personally, I feel that sometimes we just succumb to our circumstances. Like, we are just so used to this circumstance, like, okay, let's just, okay, this is what's happening, and then we are so used to this format that we forget to question. We forget to question. Sometimes we just forget to question. So hopefully through the show, we get to empower ourselves with information that we understand, that we can actually question and find out the information that we need to move forward.
Correct.
Yeah, so like, because through y'all, I'm understanding that, yeah, we are allowed to question. Why aren't we questioning? Or should we put it as, maybe generally Singaporeans are getting so comfortable that they're just, okay, maybe this does not even matter to them. Maybe it's not even important to them. So I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it's important or not also. Like, how important is it? Like, maybe because also Singaporeans do not know that what's the extent of this bill.
Yeah, could it be because it's like hard to understand, and there is actually no outlet that gives us an easy way to understand this? Because my understanding of it is that
if this is the outlet now, you understand.
Yeah, this is the outlet. Yeah. So my understanding, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? And also, all that I say is my own opinion. I'm not representing any organization. Also, I'm not trying to manipulate or spread falsehood to anybody.
Not provoking
Yeah,
anybody.
not provoking
just providing
anybody.
information only.
Okay,
Relax.
So what I think, right, is like this is like a soccer game.
Okay.
Like got two teams or like more teams. Okay, got two teams playing games. Then the referee guy, right, is also playing on one of those teams, So the minister can say, hey, you, yellow card, you. But what happens when the minister yellow card? Who points out that, hey, the referee yellow card?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like when I was a kid, I mean, sometimes you have to have soccer games like this with referee because not enough people playing. So the player is also the referee. And we all know how that worked out for us.
Okay.
Yeah, not the best. So yeah, at least as a kid, we would still all point out the referee and say, hey, referee, you kelong, that kind of thing. Then we can all come to a general consensus like, hey, referee, you're wrong.
Okay.
But when it comes to this, who's going to point out when the watcher that is watching over everybody is wrong?
But is there actually a solution for that? Then can there be a solution for this? Like, what do you think can be a solution for that?
Remove clause 61.
Okay,
Just a suggestion.
Okay.
Two suggestions, but then again, this is my own opinion. Firstly, drop the whole bill. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Secondly, drop clause 61 if the bill has to be constitutionalized, which is already in effect in Parliament now.
Okay. Okay. So that means, okay, what you're saying, if we drop the, okay, my point is that, okay, so for the audience, for the layman, right? So when we are, don't you think there should be a sense of privacy somewhere? Like, there should be a sense of control to a certain extent, don't you think? Or you just don't want the act at all? Like, I don't know, like what you said just now, you mentioned earlier that we do not know where, we do not understand the bill in detail. So in that sense, maybe, I don't know, would it help if they are a bit more clear with the bill? Like, people are aware of what the bill actually means.
Yes,
so
correct.
that we know, we understand it a bit more, and we know what is appropriate and what is not. Because, I mean, this is just my humble opinion. My humble opinion is I believe that there should be a certain line, but there also should be an extent that we are able to speak what we feel.
Correct.
But again, to provide information, but not to provoke anyone.
Correct.
You see, but reiterating back to the to my very first point is that as a society, Singapore, I believe that we are educated enough to to discern from right and wrong.
Okay.
So that fine distinction or that intelligence should empower us to make good decisions as well.
Okay.
But for me, I'm not as optimistic as that. So I just feel that
You are a true blue Singaporean.
yeah, I just feel that everybody that's watching this show, okay, maybe we want to be more critical thinkers. Go find out more about this POFMA bill. Some of you may have better understanding than me when I read the POFMA bill itself. So maybe you can enlighten us. Write down in the description, write down in the comments below. Let us know what we may be thinking wrong. Yeah, correct us. Okay, this is a discussion, Slack and discuss problem. So yeah, it would be great if you all can do that with us.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Shawal. Okay, guys, so as you can see, this show is not here to provoke anybody, but instead to provide information that might empower you to take the right step forward. Okay, so if you like what you see, please like and subscribe to our channel. And if you're one of those cavemen like me, do not have YouTube channel or anything about that, you can still hear us on the podcast. Okay, so before we go, I would just like to inform you that if you do not see me in the next episode, most likely I have been POFMAfied. So please send my love and regards to my family and friends. Till then, I'm Arvind Naidu. Bye-bye.